Hey, this is Michelle, and I thought I would just quick do a journal page in this little small journal I made a long time ago. I've kind of, I don't know, I guess procrastinated with doing pages in this, so I thought I would start, and I just thought I would record while I played. So I did kind of mess up. I thought I hit record, and so all you missed was me putting down a little bit of washi tape. So I just kind of started over again, and now I'm just putting down some. It's Blick heavy body acrylics in white, titanium white, I believe, but it's super thick, super thick. So it's almost like a gesso, just not as matte. So I'm just kind of putting that down on the piano paper and then on the back side of that other sheet that was there. And then I'm just taking, honestly, everything. It's kind of embarrassing, but everything but one little tiny piece was just laying all over my desk. So yeah, that's what these pages are kind of about. I'm just kind of cleaning off my desk and playing a little bit. So I also have this book that I've been using for a palette and for extra paint, and I'm just going to tear out a little piece of that in a coordinating kind of color. So I'm just going to take the hard edges off. Y'all know I don't like hard edges, so I'm just taking those off, and then I'm going to put that down with the Yoo-Hoo glue stick, and then go over and tear off another little piece and put that down as well. So sometimes when I'm bored, I will just kind of doodle or make marks or something, and that's what those little marks are on that. And sometimes I'll just kind of make painted papers, and that's kind of what that is too. So then I can use them later in my journals. I'm going to go back in with a little bit more of the heavy body acrylic white paint, and I'm just smoothing out the edges again and making it so that everything looks cohesive, and I don't want anything to look like it's jumping off the page, I guess. So I'm just kind of putting that on both sides over top of the pieces that I laid down. And then I'm taking this brayer. This is from Hobby Lobby. It's really foamy, but it still has a rubber seal, so it gives a different outcome than a regular brayer. And it's one of my favorites. And I'm just going to dry those pages really quick. Not sure why I'm making you watch that, because usually I edit that out, but there it is. And then I'm going to take this is Bombay India ink in teal. And I'm just going to drop a little bit on both pages. And then just take a brush with water and kind of move it around the page a little bit. It's super pretty. If you don't have any of the India inks, they're really pretty. I got those before Hobby Lobby had their huge clearance sale on all their acrylic inks, but I still use them both. So, and then I'm just wiping off the excess on a little piece of deli paper that I had, and then pushing the pages together just to kind of have the color pool a little bit in certain places. And then I'm just taking a little piece of, that's actually a flour sack that I rusted. And flour sack towel, sorry. If you want to rust anything, they are super cheap at Walmart. They come in like a pack of 5 for like $4 or something crazy like that. So I just bought them and did some rusting, and they last forever. You don't need more than 5. You can just keep ripping pieces off forever. So, and then yeah, that other little piece of teal material was also on my desk. So I'm just going to, sometimes I will take the Yoo-Hoo glue stick and glue along the material so I can put 2 pieces together before I sew it. And then I just took it over and did some really wonky stitches, and I'm trying to figure out which area I'm going to place that in. And I think the left side wins out. And that's just heavy matte gel medium. That works really good for materials or heavy chipboard, things of that nature. It's kind of my go-to for the heavier items. The book's too small to actually take over there and sew directly into, so this works just as well. And then I like the the strings all over, but I don't like them so long that it kind of grosses me out because it looks like hair if it's too long. I know that's really weird, but that's what it is. So I just cut them down a little bit. And then I'm taking just another little piece of the rusted flour sack and another little piece of the teal material. And I'm just going to put a little kind of sew and put a little piece, kind of like a little tab over on the other side, just to kind of have just to bring that same bit over on that side as well. So I just sewed that as well, and I'm going to use the matte heavy gel medium and adhere that down also. And then this is the piece that wasn't on my desk. There's I don't know if you remember those, probably a couple, 3 years ago, those little wood chip pieces were like all the rage, and I have a hoard of them. So I'm trying to use up some of these things that I've had forever. So I just got one of those little bits, and I'm putting some modeling paste on top of it. And that's just to give it some texture and grunge it up a little bit. So I dried it, and then I'm going to use some Payne's Gray acrylic ink, the Dollarownie, just to kind of put a little bit of color on it and darken it up a little bit. And that's the Payne's Gray. And then I just add a little bit of water so that it kind of moves around a little bit better. And that's just, I believe that's I'm not sure what that little tool was. I think it's a jewelry tool, and those are just some little, those little glass beads or seed beads, or they don't have holes in them. They're just the little beads. That's the other thing that wasn't on my desk. But I just put a little teeny blob of that heavy gel medium, and then I used my tweezers, and I just dunked it right in the bottle. Otherwise, y'all know I would have spilled that whole bottle everywhere, because that's how I roll. I don't know, I'm not really like a huge slob in every other area of my life, but in my art room, man, I am like a huge slob. It's embarrassing, yes, I know. So then I'm just going to use some E6000. I like those little tubes. They come like 4 in a pack. You can get them at Walmart or Michael's or Hobby Lobby. But I don't know if you've used the E6000. It's hard. It gets hard to squeeze out. And if you use the little tubes, it's a lot easier because you just toss it once you only get so many uses out of it. So then I'm just cutting off the extra strings again and adhering that down. And then I got it at my local thrift store. It was 35 cents. It's one of those things that kind of blurs out like personal identification, and it makes kind of neat black ink lines. So I just used that. And then I'm looking for a little quote, some found words, and it says, yes, I do that. I end up cutting the yes off, but it kind of has to do with procrastination, is kind of what my page was about. I've had this little journal forever, and I've been meaning to do videos, and it's kind of been a crazy year, but I am going to get back at it. So that's kind of what this page is about. I do that. I procrastinate like crazy. I've done it since I was little in school. All my homework was always done at the last minute, because that's also how I roll, I guess. So I just backed that on an old piece of book paper and kind of coordinating colors. It kind of looks like the Payne's Gray a little bit. And then I'm going to take another little hunk of that flour sack, and I'm going to adhere the words and the little book page onto that. And then I wanted to grunge it up a little bit. So again, I just used some of my homemade modeling paste. And I just kind of used my finger. Oh no, did I do that first? I may have. Nope, I didn't. Okay, I was going to say, I thought. Usually I put the modeling paste on first. So I just kind of put it here and there and then dried it. It's obviously, this is just my art journal, so it doesn't have to be dried perfectly. It doesn't have to, I guess I didn't dry it that time, but now I'm going to dry it. And I'm just putting putting it around just for a little bit of color. It doesn't have to be perfect, obviously, since I'm completely trying to grunge it up. So I'm just going to dry that, and I believe I will put a little bit more on there just to darken it up a little bit. But other than that, this page is almost done. So thank you for watching, and would love it if you would subscribe, comment, like, that would be great. I do have all my supplies listed below. They are through Amazon's affiliate link, so if you purchase through those, a very small portion gets paid back to me for supplies to make more videos. It doesn't cost anymore. It's the same price if you looked it up on your own. It's just a way for them to advertise, I guess. Anyhow, if you use it, that's great. If not, that's great too. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure and stay tuned for some stills at the very end. Thanks again. Bye.